Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing great as usual. I'm back with yet another exciting video that no one is covering. I guarantee it. If you keep following my videos, you'll be taking one step towards being a badass developer. When writing codes, we often end up in a dilemma of which container or type will be best suitable for our query, as there are various aspects associated with it. One of the important aspects of it is time complexity. When we write code, we have always been told that our code execution time should be very quick, it should consume less space, very efficient, and whatnot. To calculate or estimate the time complexity, we have been told a few things, such as the code should be executed in big O log of n, or it's a slightly heavy code, then it should be around big O of n log n, or big O of n, and worse if it's big O of n square. We don't want to go there. All these things give us a rough idea of execution time. But what about the practical performance of code? How do we identify if using an array, then will it take less time, or using a map, will it take less time? To answer this question, I've made this video. In this video, I'll show you how to calculate the performance of your code in terms of time. Believe me, this will help you a lot. So to measure the execution time of code snippet with the highest accuracy, irrespective of the OS, is a module called timeit. You don't need to install it as it comes with Python itself. So what is timeit? Python timeit is a method in Python library to measure the execution time taken by the given code snippet. The Python library runs the code statement 1 million times, which is the default. You can use any number of times, and provides the minimum time taken from the given set of code snippets. Python timeit is a useful method that helps in checking the performance of the code. Firstly, we'll start by importing the module, which is this. We have imported it. This is the important method for this timeit, which is called timeit.timeit. In this, the first parameter is called statement. So this will take the code of which you want to measure the execution time. The default value is pass. Second parameter is setup. This will have setup details that need to be executed before statement. The default value is pass. So what does this mean? So just imagine in the statement, I am randomly picking a number through a random module. So but this statement doesn't know, like this function doesn't know what is random, because it's a third party module. So in this setup, I'll need to import that random package by writing import random. I'll take example for that as well. It will be much clearer to you in that. And the third parameter is timer, which is this will have the timer value. Timeit already has a default value set, so we can ignore it. And the important one is number. Number basically means, but I'll first read this thing. The statement will execute as per the number is given here. The default value is 1 million. So if we don't mention this number parameter, it is going to execute that particular statement 1 million times, and we'll get to know how much time does it take to execute it. No problem with that. So let's start with the first example. Now I'll show you a simple example, which is our favorite, of printing hello world. What do you think? How much time will it take to print it 1 million times? So let me write the code. The code is pretty simple. I'm just writing it print. Then I'll write timeit. In this, the statement stmt is equal to, which is basically if I actually write print, then it will print in console, but that is not something that we want. I'll just simply assign it to something which is called hello world exclamation. So this is done. So, and I'm happy with the default value of 1 million times. So let's see how it works. Nice. It has only taken 6 milliseconds. As you are aware of it, 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. So this means Printing hello world a million times is going to take only 6 milliseconds. That's amazing, man. No wonder this is the favorite word of every programmer. Now you know how to use this timeit function. The another important function provided by timeit is called repeat. So it has an extra parameter on top of what we have earlier seen, so which is basically repeat. It is very simple. The number of times you want to execute the timeit method. It's as simple as that. Now here, instead of this, I'll use repeat equal to 5. So what does this mean? So now I'm going to execute this particular statement timeit 5 times. So if I'll just comment it out now, and at the end I will get an array of times taken by those 1 million particular. So basically in this particular example, our hello world will get executed 5 million times in total. So this is the first, second, third, fourth and fifth. As you can see, there's very minor difference between each of these timings, and it is okay, no problem with that. Now that we know this function, let's see the ways of using this. So basically in this example, I've taken this variable import module. In this I'm just importing random, and the test code, which is our def test, which is simply returning a random random between 10 to 100. Pretty simple code, right? So this can be tested like multiple, if you want to test multiple lines of code using this repeat or timeit function, then it is very simple. We can take it in variable as I've done using the triple quotation marks. And please keep that in mind, you have to start writing the code from the base indentation itself. Now that you know the setup, I'll just simply run it. So you can write any code of line here, and it will give the execution time of it. So what do you think, guys? How much time this code will take? I'll run it for you. It's pretty simple, right? 47 milliseconds. Imagine our hello world only took 6 milliseconds, and this is like 8 times greater than that. So this is how it works. So the average time is around 47 itself. So you can use multiple lines of code using this way as well. So the important and final problem statement of today's video is this. Problem statement is we have to join first 15 numbers with hyphen. So in order to achieve this functionality, we have a simple join method in our hand that we have seen in earlier video as well, that it is the most efficient way of appending strings. So now I'll use that only. So here I'm using this hyphen, and I'm joining all the numbers from 0 to in the range of 50. You all guys know that already. I'll simply run this code. So now that I've started the execution of this code, and remember, I'm not using repeat because it will take much time. So, and I don't want to elongate this video, so that is why I'm using the timeit function here, which gives us the idea as well. So for 1 million times, this statement took 4.18 second. So guys, we'll take it one step ahead. We are using list comprehension now instead of the normal way. What do you think will happen? Do you think this will take less time or more time? Let's see what happens. So okay, it took 3.5 seconds, and earlier it took 4.18 seconds. So that's a slight increase. That's good. So this is how you analyze the statements in your code, and this is how you can replace it with better line of code. As you all have seen, most of the times we have been told by many of our seniors, as well as like earlier in our days, we have been told that always use map because the time complexity of map is n log n. So if they always used to say it like use map, but we never paid attention to them most of the time. So let's see if they using if usage of map makes any difference here. Let's check for 50. Okay, it only took 3 seconds. So see, 4 seconds to 3 seconds, that's a massive difference. In our day-to-day life, one second can make a lot of difference. So this is how you need to analyze your code and improve upon the code that you are writing. You might say that there are other ways of calculating performance of a code itself. I agree with you, but why use timeit? Here are a few reasons why we consider timeit is the best way to measure execution time. It runs the code statement 1 million times, that is the default value, and from that it will return you the minimum time taken. You can also increase, decrease the 1 million by setting the argument number in time function. While executing the test, the garbage collection is disabled every time by time function. Timeit internally takes the accurate time as per your operating system being used. For example, it will use time.clock function for Windows operating system and time.time method for Mac and Linux. With this, we have come towards the end of our video. Thank you so much guys for watching it. I hope you liked my work. Please consider subscribing to the channel as more such content is on the way.